Hey there, Mazzy here. So, this is starting out with John Lennon, Give Me Some Truth, the box set that just came out celebrating his 80th birthday. The second half of this video is some new releases, some reissues, and I'll discuss that. So, all you Beatle freaks that want to know what I think, and if you don't know what I think, if you just stumbled across this, there's a million videos out now on unboxing. I'm not unboxing, I don't unbox stuff, you know? Who needs to see someone opening a friggin' box, right? So, I'm gonna showcase Give Me Some Truth, the 4 LP set, and Give Me Some Truth, the deluxe set with compact disc, Blu-ray, surround, and great book. And I listened to everything straight through once only. I did not listen to the surround mixes. So if you're into 5.1 or Atmos, this ain't the place to be. And I did a bit of a shootout. And I did shootouts with Shaved Fish, the first Lennon comp, the Lennon post-Geffen comp that has a lot of double fantasy and greatest hits. A late 90s comp from 1997, Lennon Legend. And then I did go and spot check some songs from Plastic Ono Band, Imagine, Mind Games, and Walls and Bridges. So I didn't do everything, not definitive, but you know, you're gonna get my take on it. So here we go. First of all, 4 LPs, there's also a 2 LP set, there's a 2 CD set. I'm not gonna get into all the configurations. If you watch my channel, you know I'm a completist, except I don't have those editions. So, first of all, the bottom line. You wanna know the punchline, and I've read so many comments on places like Beatle forums and the Hoffman forums and about some people really like these new mixes that were really different, and Sean Lennon was really a part of pushing it, wanting them to just really, you know, raise John's voice, make him different. Don't worry about the original stuff. This is not what this is about. This is an 80th, and it's time to do things for younger, or not necessarily young, but for new audiences to this music, and I totally get that. So that is a subjective taste situation. So you want to know the punchline. Do I need this set? If you have all these other songs in different formats, you do not need this set. Okay? So stop whining about cash grab. Don't buy it. Okay? Of this box and this box, which do you get? You know, if you're a vinyl freak, go with the friggin' vinyl. And look at this. I love this cover first. I think the cover art is stupendous on both. This is great. I'm not sure I love the gold frame here. But I love the design. I'm a fan of the design. I've read some people are not a fan, but ultimately there's a hardback book in the CD Blu-ray box set, which just blows away the vinyl set. So there's a yin-yang here. You go back and forth. What do you like better? First, in terms of the design, I love the design. I love this, except maybe for the gold frame, but I love the book and how they go through everything from the tape boxes to Apple Records to John and Yoko, to the whole history and best of. I love the photographs, I love the layout, I love the design. Madison Square Gardens, Elton John, and John Lennon, of course. And they go through pretty much every song. They have a description of the song. They talk about it. So this is fabulous. The book in here is so much better than the book in the vinyl set. The book in the vinyl set is essentially a pamphlet. So aesthetically, as much as I love these great covers, look at these 2 record covers. Beautiful, kind of a goldish tinge and a silvery tinge, black and white. Amazing, really beautiful, really wonderful. One thing I don't like about it, so again, there's good and bad and ugly about this set. What I don't like is, I do like the graphic design, yet on the labels, you have no idea what friggin' song it is. So you have to go back to this, which is hard to read because it's hard to read, okay? Maybe that's a different audience, and I'm not the audience for that. When I first put this on, I started with Instant Karma, which I loved. The new box set, Give Me Some Truth, the vocals are pushed up a lot. I would say on the whole, the highs are slightly clipped. The high ends are slightly clipped. Here's where I'm coming from if you care. If you're an audiophile, I have a nice system, but I'm not a high-end audiophile system, but I have a better than average system. I have B&W 702S4 speakers. A lot of people, high-end audiophile, think that B&W's Bauer and Wilkins speakers are a little bright. My room that I mostly play in is a bright room. So so the roll off of the highs were fine. It's sort of a mid-tone. Some might say a muddy sound, but I didn't consider it muddy. Although once you got into Working Class Hero, I didn't like Working Class Hero on this. I thought it was a bit muted. Even though I liked the vocals high, I didn't love it as much. I liked it better. I think the definitive version, obviously, is the original. This is a UK edition of Plastic Ono Band. And if you want a comp, I'd say the best comp still is Shaved Fish, the first comp that came out. I don't like this cover. I don't like the packaging. I think it's truncated. But this is probably, for the first half of his career, a great greatest hits comp, best of. But again, if you want the whole, just the feel and a whole comp, this new one is great. It's fantastic. It sounds really good. The vocals are up in your face. I found that sometimes I like the originals better. Sometimes I liked the remix. These are total remix versions of it better. Imagine, I would say the song Imagine is even. Instant Karma, I love the original single. It's gritty, where it's a little cleaner here. I still liked it here, but I think the original single is much better. Isolation. Isolation is good on here, but it kicks ass on the original Plastic Ono Band, and it's not on a lot of the other comps. So it's not a song that's a normal comp. That's what's great about the 4-disc version of this. There's deeper cuts. It's much like if you're a Beatle collector and you bought Pure McCartney, it's much like Pure McCartney. But I would say the Plastic Ono Band version of Isolation is much better. God, I think I like God better on this. Now, I read again on these friggin' forums out there, some people thought the bass was too heavy on this. I didn't think of that at all. Of course, my room is brighter. My system might be a little brighter, so the bass was not intense and overly heavy bottom. I didn't think that at all. I thought it was actually pretty well balanced. I thought there was, Give Me Some Truth on this. I liked this version on the new, almost more than the Imagine version on my UK original Imagine. Although, you know, that's more of a subjective thing. UK version of this, Give Me Some Truth. You know, I think I like this one better. But it goes back and forth. That's why it's not an absolute. If you have this, you don't need this. But I would say any of you that don't have a good John Lennon comp, this is fantastic. The 2 LP set might be enough for you. I would splurge and get the 4 LP set. But maybe if you are a CD person as well, you know, get the CD box, maybe even instead of the vinyl. It might have a slight edge, which is really rare for me to say that on this. Give Me Some Truth is great. Oh My Love, How Do You Sleep, Oh Yoko, Angel. Pretty amazing. I mean, pretty amazing on this. But again, I don't feel that this was an absolute, that everything on here was better, because everything on here is not better. Sometimes the songs on this record were a little muted, but my guess is most of you won't be A-Bing these records. You're not going to take this and compare it to this. You're not going to take this and compare it to this. You know, you're just not going to do that. So it really is subjective. I like this combo. I like the way his voice is really pushed forward. You know, there's an old saying that John didn't like the sound of his voice, and we all love it. You know, John, a lot of times his stuff was overdubbed. But again, with Isolation, that middle part of Isolation, where you hear the double track of his voice really easy, is so much superior on the original Plastic Ono Band record, especially my UK copy. So, there's no definitive thing on this. Now, the box set of the vinyl, let me just show you what's in the package here. There's a kind of a nice little flip book here, which is kind of nice. And it has a bumper sticker. You know, this is the ephemera stuff. Postcard that he sent in protest of the wars and cold turkey slipping down the chart, various postcards. But the book on the vinyl version is pretty wimpy in compared to the compact disc version. So again, if you're a CD person, this is one of the few times I would probably recommend going for the big CD box. The poster in the vinyl, it's two-sided poster, is much bigger. It's the same poster on both, but it's large on the vinyl. And it's small on the compact disc. What else? Any other notes here? This is slightly better in some cases, although half of this record is all double fantasy. Now, one thing I will say is, out of all the remixes, I think the biggest improvement are from the records that sound least good. In my opinion, the original version of Mind Games sounds really shitty. It's muddy, it's just not well produced. John Lennon's records are not sonic masterpieces, and I would say this is not great. But the songs from this album, Mind Games, One Day at a Time, and what else is on here? Out the Blue, they're better on this by far. So I'm really looking forward to them, you know, doing these ongoing full album series. I hope they do a remix box set, deluxe set, ultimate mix of Mind Games. And also I thought Number 9 Dream sounded really good on the new set. Although I do like Walls and Bridges, I think the new set is better. So, you know, this is, you go on these friggin' forums, all you forum people, if you're watching this, you know, everyone's like, you know, cash grab, all this stuff. Don't buy the friggin' box. It's not for everybody. The other ones I listen to are these as well. I said this one, which is a Quiet X2. This is the Geffen comp post John Lennon's death. Promo copy, great sounding record. I think I like the new one slightly better, but not on every song. This one, Lennon Legend 97, is pretty good, but for the most part I like the new one. But it really varies. Some of the songs, if you are A-Bing on the new set, sound a little muddy or a little subdued. Again, the high ends are rolled off, and it's so subjective, I guess. But this is worth it for the book. So I'd say if you're a collector of Lennon and you have all the other records, get this box. This box, size-wise, matches the deluxe, wonderful Imagine set. Apparently there's going to be a Plastic Ono Band set coming out either late this year or next year. was delayed because of the pandemic. Give me some truth. John Lennon would be so pissed at what's going on in this fucking world right now, in a lot of cases, and we need some truth instead of all these lies. So the political side of this, it's no accident this was named by Sean, Give Me Some Truth. So that's my take on this set. I'd probably give the edge to this box over the vinyl in this case, and I know a lot of the people watching this are vinyl freaks, but a lot of CD people too. So I'm gonna stop, take a little break, and we're gonna come back on just some things I got, new releases, not John Lennon, but that's my take. Let's see your opinion. I've seen a lot of these on Vinyl Community and on YouTube, so what do you think? So there's a bit of a shift today in the jazz section. You've seen the room, there's the whack-a-mole wall. This is the record library, some Beatle books on that side. But we got Beatles there and jazz here. And of course, there's some room issues and storage issues. So I picked up a couple more of these LP bins. I'll put the link below. They make actual flip-through bins, different things that are laminates. I love these because they're minimal. I like the minimal look of them. And if you've seen my new releases upstairs, they look cheap, but they're not. It's all metal, and they're actually kind of heavy. They come with this nice little plastic grid so the records don't slide. You know how sometimes you do flip bins, and if they're not full, the records don't slide? So I might get eventually some to line up here, because these are the things at the bottom with box sets I don't pull out all the time. So I have to pull, if I need to pull from behind, I can just lift this up. A little heavy, but most of the time that's not going to be an issue. And I want these to be sort of self-contained. So what I'm doing here, for one of them, I'm clearing room for more jazz here. I'm going to move some of the box sets over here, take the 10 inches out. I need to kind of unscrew and raise the shelf up. For some reason, I didn't make this a full 12-inch high shelf. As you can see, it's out of line there. So I'll do that. But this will be, on one of them, will be just my Tone Poets. So I have them in alpha order for now, backwards, but maybe I'll change that. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But I've been collecting a lot of the Tone Poets, so just for your edification, let me flip through these right now. Excuse me. But it's fun having these all together. I like to keep my Tone Poets and my Music Matters jazz together. So I have most of them, not everything, but Tone Poets are something I like because they're fairly, really nicely recorded, amazing covers, nicely mastered by Kevin Gray and Joe Harley, and just amazing collection. So I'll be doing that, then I'll be moving my jazz and adding more releases here. So that's just a little bit of how things are organized. And then I got to deal with the Beatles. Oh my God, the friggin' Beatles. The friggin' Beatles, like a monolith. Give me some truth. I'm sick and tired of pig-headed politicians. Okay, part 2. Now I hope some of these peoples hung out here for a little while to watch part 2, because you can't just buy the same friggin' Beatles shit over and over again. I do, but you don't have to. Buy some new music. God, get a life, right? I feel like William Shatner, that Saturday Night Live, like, get a life, you know? Don't just dress up like John friggin' Lennon and buy some new music. Anyway, first is a VCLT, Vinyl Community Love Train, a gift that I got from Michael Poetry and Plastic. And this was really sweet of him. We have a Four Corners group that we do these ongoing videos with. Michael in Austin, Michael in Germany. If you watch my channel, you probably know, but look and see the collaborations. And we've had 3 of them so far. There'll be more down the line. And we did a classical one. Now, if you're into classical music, watch it. Open your taste, expand your horizons. Watch that video. But Michael is also into Japanese pop, and he sent me this incredible record, which I haven't heard yet, so I'm sorry. Look at that cover. This is from 1974. Smells musty like old records do. This is from Hako Yamasaki, released in 1976 when she was 19 years old. Apparently it's incredible Japanese pop folk, dark. He loves the sonics on his record. He knows his sound, and I want to thank Michael from Poetry on Plastic, who's in the Southwest. And look at this beautiful cover, Obi, beautiful. Sent me a lovely note here, which I won't show you because you don't need to see it. But looking forward to checking this out, really, because I've heard some good things. I've heard her name, but I don't know much about her. I don't have any Japanese pop like this, so looking forward to it. 1974. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate it. Now for the new records, some reissues, and some new releases. This is like their 5th or 6th or 7th record. I'm a big fan of Yo La Tengo. I had this on CD, never had it on vinyl. It just came out as an anniversary edition. And this is called Electro Pura by Yo La Tengo. You know, it's got that psych pop, Velvet Underground feel to it. And I pretty much love everything Yo La Tengo does. So, haven't heard the reissue yet, but I know the album. I've had a compact disc of it. This is, I assume this is expanded. It's on Matador Records, but Yo La Tengo. Cool band. Saw them, I think in the 90s, the last time I saw them. Now, of course, the son of the father of my favorite guitar player on Nonsuch Records, Joaquin Cooder. Ry Cooder's son, percussionist. He's played on pretty much all the last 15, 20 years, maybe beyond that, of Ry Cooder Records. Finally has his own record, which is a folky, worldly record. Really nice, really. This is better than I would have expected it to be, which sounds kind of strange saying it like that. But Joaquin Cooder, you know, very earthy, very rootsy, but really great. I've seen Ry Cooder so many times in the last several times I've seen Ry Cooder. Joaquin is right there with him. So what a great artist, a great percussion player. But he plays this, I don't even know what the instrument is called. It's like you do this, you do that. What is it called? Come on. Say what he plays. It's that. I should have researched this, but so he's not just a drummer, percussion player, but it's very world music style, folk, and a gorgeous record. So I'm looking forward to even dive deeper into this Joaquin Cooder record on Nonsuch Records. Sufjan Stevens, one of my favorite records of the last, 4 or 5 years ago now. Carrie and Lowell. This is different. This is there's a psychedelic song on here, what's it called? Is it America? It's like a really long song. It might be America. That just goes on with this dirgy thing, and it's very psychedelic. And, you know, if you just wanted to test the waters, this could be really cool. Again, it's another record I haven't dived into much, but I'm looking forward to it. I've heard the whole thing through just once, plus that song, America. I think I heard it first on NPR. And it was really, really good. Kind of Zen-like in a way. But Sufjan Stevens, he did a series of records on the states, but I think only got to 2 states, Illinois and maybe one other. I don't remember. But I think he's an important artist for the last 15, 20 years, however long it's been. So, loving that. I've been meaning to do a full-on video of, because I'm collecting as many as I can of Analog Africa. This is the latest release. This is Machuca, which is the Machuca label, which was a comp in the, I'd say, 75 to 1980. And the guy was a tax attorney who started this label, Machuca, and got all these sort of Colombian city artists that did kind of, I think this is what Donald Trump was going to use on his shirt when he was going to open his shirt, when he kind of, yeah, I have cured, I am invincible, no longer have COVID. Google Donald Trump Superman and hear that fucking article, that shithead, because this is funny. Great record, and these always have these wonderful books of the catalog. Again, it's a comp, so it's all these bands. It's funky, it's soulful, not high fidelity stuff. It's got a little psychedelic, but just kind of teeny guitar stuff, very danceable, and really wonderful music. Again, this is a comp from the label he had in the mid-70s to 1980 or so. Analog Africa. I'll pick anything from Analog Africa. This is a late record store day, one of the drops. I forgot it was first, second, whatever drop it was. I finally got it. This is Changes Now Bowie. It took me a while to get this. It took forever to get here, and I think I paid like $5 over asking price. Recorded November 1996. Really cool comp. So I'm a big David Bowie fan, and I kind of initially passed on this. I read so many great things about it, but love the guy. Saw the great show 2 years ago in Brooklyn Museum that toured around in Europe, and great artist. I don't have to say any more about David Bowie. And then the last two things, Acoustic Sounds is doing this series, which are very much like the Tone Poet. Same tipped on covers, audiophile Kevin Gray. Oh, actually they're not Kevin Gray, sorry. Well mastered. One is this album, Ballads. Jim Marshall, a great photographer, took this photograph. Now, Ballads was a record that, in a way, Impulse kind of forced him to do. He was getting sort of out there with his free jazz, and Impulse wanted him to do sort of a commercial record, so they went out and picked up this sheet music literally that day and did this album. A lot of standards, covers, Nancy with the Laughing Face. It's easy to remember. What's New? What's New? Da 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 da. Say it over and over again. You don't know what love is. If you aren't into jazz and you want something kind of smooth and easy and sexy and thinking, you might get sexed that night, this is an album to put on. Ballads. It's what the title says, Ballads. Beautiful record, easy going, not challenging. I have an original mono Impulse that is very noisy and very loud, and I would probably reach for this before I reach for my original. Sounds fabulous from the analog tapes. These series are anywhere from 25 to 35 bucks. You could probably get them in the mid-20s or so. Well worth it if you want to start a jazz collection. This. The other one they released at the same time is one of the most famous and popular jazz albums of all time, Love Supreme. More challenging for some, so if you're new to jazz, this is sort of Om, Shalom, very spiritual. I love this record, and the original master tapes are gone. So this is a copy tape, I think they found in Europe, but it sounds great. I have 3 different copies. I have a 70s copy, I have the reissue with extra tracks, which is from Digital Source. Nothing wrong with that. I would probably go with this, and again, it's the same price. Beautiful cover, beautiful packaging, the right price. So if you want to get one of the most famous jazz records of all time, Love Supreme, the Acoustic Sound series, they're going to do a lot of records coming out. There's going to be some Bill Evans, there's going to be some Nina Simone. It's going to happen over the next couple of years. Again, they're going to emulate the Tone Poet series. So that's it for Mazzy here, new releases. John Lennon, again, just play music you like, play music you know. What we're having in the background here is bachelor pad music, of course, Enoch Light. This is persuasive percussion. The whole ping pong, left, right, stereo, great stuff from the late 1950s, and love this stuff. Pop jazz at its finest. I'm tired now, but Mazzy loves you.